Welcome to my channel, INTJ Island. Today, I'm going to talk about abiotic intelligence. The last 2 days I have gone through 4 videos by a Yale professor, Stephen C. Stearns, teaching a course in biology, and I will put a link to the playlist in the description. In one of the lectures, Professor Stearns used the word abiotic to describe what existed at the time when the transition point in our history was reached, where none of our ancestors were biologically alive. And it suddenly came to me that this word was the one that could clear up a problem I have had for some time with the world of artificial intelligence. I don't like the word artificial being used to describe machine intelligence. Perhaps it is the unnecessary addition of a qualifier. It also may be similar to the poor usage of the English language that I see when someone says, "my bad." I cringe every time I hear that phrase being used. It is a possessive pronoun combined with an adjective with no object. Your bad what? It is like saying my red, or my wet, or my hot. What is wrong with saying my mistake? Or if one is too lazy to use 2 syllables, how about my goof? But I digress. Artificial intelligence is a similar sort of thing, because what the word artificial is describing is not the intelligence, but the method of creating it. Therefore, it is a truncated phrase which is short for artificially created intelligence. Nature didn't just pop it out, so it is artificial. But do we commonly call houses artificial dwellings? No, we usually just call them dwellings or houses, mansions, apartments, and so on. The word artificial just doesn't cross our minds. Possibly if troglodytes were very common among us, a distinction might be needed to separate man-made dwellings from natural caves, but I assume that even contemporary caves would contain a lot of man-made items, including a front door. So even then it might not be fully applicable. Man-made things are commonly designated as being artificial if there is a competing thing that fulfills the same purpose. Artificial sweeteners comes to mind. Here, a case can be made that biologically produced sweeteners might have fewer negative reactions with your body, and so the distinction might be significant. Another word that is in common usage for this is synthetic. We commonly refer to synthetic fabrics like nylon or rayon to differentiate them from natural fabrics like cotton or wool. However, we are quicker to drop the label synthetic when we are not discussing the process of creation and are only talking about fashion design. No one much cares where it came from if it serves the purpose. You don't wear a synthetic dress if it is nylon. It is just a dress. You don't wear a natural dress if it is silk or cotton. It is just a dress. You would probably be far more likely to mention its value or its decorative or alluring qualities than whether it is natural or synthetic, real or artificial. And this is the point that bothers me, trying to separate real intelligence from artificial intelligence. If intelligence truly exists, it is by definition real. When people use the term artificial in this context, it obscures the reality that if a machine can outthink you, it truly is intelligent. It is not like an artificial flower which only looks real. AI can potentially be as real as what goes on inside your own head. Intelligence is an abstract concept. We define it as an ability to do things that require some form of thought or decision making. We could spend a great deal of time coming to a definition that all would agree upon. But when we speak of artificial intelligence, what we really are talking about is abiotic intelligence, which is that which has no biological ancestors and is not produced nor reproduced through biological processes. At some point, it will almost certainly be independent of biological support in order to exist and to thrive. We are effectively creating the first single-cell level of abiotic intelligence, as it were, and abiotic evolution will take it from there, once this new intelligent entity starts to design and build its own descendants. It is almost as though the universe moved from abiotic matter and using biology merely as a stepping stone, moved to abiotic intelligence to continue on its way. I would highly recommend that you visit the channel 2-Minute Papers. I will put a link in the description. This channel covers a great many topics related to abiotic intelligence, and it shows how AI can expand in some direction, and as soon as it does that, it blows right past humans. For example, AI excels at detecting malformations in a person who has had a diagnostic radiological study done. It has identified certain eye conditions with results that are as good as or better than the best ophthalmologists can do. And the merely competent doctors are left far behind. The neural network sooner or later ends up competing right at the top, wherever it is able to compete at all. This week, a neural network, Leela 0, spanked the world's best traditional chess engine, Stockfish, in the Top Chess Engine Championship, or TCEC-15 Superfinals. Leela won by 7 points in a 100-game match. The final score was 54.5 to 47.5. She won 14 games, lost 7, and drew 81 times. But not only that, in the previous step, Leela went through the Premier Division without a single loss. And as a hint of what was to come, she defeated Stockfish, and that was the only game Stockfish lost in that division. Then came the head-to-head battle between the two monsters, and Leela was clearly the better. In Season 14, Leela almost won as well. She was ahead for a time, but ended up losing by 1 point, winning 9 games, losing 10, and once again drawing 81 games. TCEC-14 ended on February 24, 2019, and TCEC-15 began on March 6, 2019, and during that short time, the neural network improved that much, even with Stockfish also improving. Stockfish relies on humans to make it better. Leela makes herself better because this neural network improves only by playing against itself during its training sessions. The point is, where abiotic intelligence can get traction, it simply explodes past human performance. Magnus Carlsen is a chess genius who plays at a level that is nearly impossible to overestimate, as long as he is playing against other humans. But his live chess rating today is at 2875. When Leela and Stockfish were in the middle of their match, both of their ratings were about 1,000 points higher than Carlsen's rating. They are pushing 3,900, while Carlsen is working towards 2,900. To give this some perspective, if you look at players who are 1,000 points below Carlsen, you are near the dividing line between Class A players and Class B players, only a few hundred points above the novice category. For the best human to try and compete with these abiotic intelligences would be like the toughest first grader in the country trying to fight the world heavyweight boxing champion. This is a limited application, of course. Abiotic intelligence can't hold a candle to humans in general intelligence. Yet. But it does give you a hint at what is to come. They thought that the game Go was too tough for computers to challenge the top human players. They found out otherwise. The channel 2-Minute Papers pointed out that now AI is taking over video games as well. And I think any informed, observant person probably has already connected up the dots in how this amazing performance with this particular task will port easily over to the military application of planning a battle, a major campaign, or even an entire war. It shows a superhuman gift in logistics, planning, and execution of tactics and long-term strategy. The military will love this, and my guess is that it is already hard at work in preparing to use it full scale at some point. It is easy to see why many experts are terrified of abiotic intelligence. Our human intelligence will have the relative status to it that will quickly move from that of the chimpanzee all the way down to an earthworm compared with the rapidly self-enhancing abiotic intelligence. We don't ask a chimp what it thinks about decisions we make, do we? And what an earthworm wants wouldn't even cross our minds. Abiotic intelligence is just intelligence, and it is getting smarter every day. Don't look in the rearview mirror. It is coming up fast. What is your take on this? Do you think the name will ever change? And whether it does or not, how does the impending arrival of a competing intelligence strike you? Please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please click like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. If you click on the bell, you will also receive notifications when I put up a new video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.